We're going to step away from all the doom and gloom of the daily news now to take a little look at comedy. Here in Paris, an improv troupe has taken on the very tricky challenge of improvising not just a scene, but a whole musical. It's called New, the Improvised Musical. And to talk a bit more about that with me now, I'm joined on the set by the founder and the artistic director, Florian Bartsch. Hi, Florian.
Hi, Genie.
It's so great to have you on the show. Now, I'm sure people are familiar with improv. Improv musicals, maybe not so much. So tell me a bit more about how it works and what it is.
Well, it's a show, interactive, co-written, co-constructed with the audience's help. We write one full story every night, a different story every night, a new story every night, actually so. And we mix theater, we mix dance, we mix music, we mix live drawings. So it's an interdisciplinary interactive show.
Right, and what's so great about it, and for me what was so impressive, was it's not just the scenes and the funny bits, speaking, that are improvised, but the music and the songs. So we're now going to watch a quick example of one of the songs that was improvised during one of the recent performances of New.
Okay, let's have the work happiness tango. You want it, you get it.
I'm sorry, I don't speak French.
Oh, good. I don't either.
Oh, you're American.
I am.
Oh, that's something better.
That's right.
You're going.
I'm going.
You're going.
I'm going.
You're going.
I'm going.
You're going.
I'm going.
We're going.
We're going.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
To Paris
That's right.
for something better.
That was New, the Improvised Musical. All of that, what we just saw, just to remind people, was really just made up on the spot.
Totally.
So the thing I don't get is, how does it work with the music? I mean, there is an accompanist there. Who leads whom? Is it the accompanist who starts playing and then the actor jumps in and starts singing, or vice versa? How does it work?
Both. I mean, sometimes it's the piano player who starts the song, sometimes the drummer, sometimes the singer. It's always like we are having this active listening, we're connected with each other, and then we jump in the cold water together, and then we improvise.
Well, I get the real question is how do you train for that? What kind of rehearsals do you have for this kind of a show?
We rehearse weekly, in which we watch the video of the last show. We analyze the video, and then we see what has worked, why, what has not worked, why not. And then we train, and then we go and I think we call ourselves the experts of the unforeseen. We don't know what's going to happen, but we prepare as a maximum, and then we just jump.
Right.
We jump and trust.
And one thing we didn't see in that clip is there is a lot of interaction with the audience, as you were saying. For example, someone will be doing a scene, they'll say something, and then you'll jump in. Tell us about that.
Well, the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, can stop the show at any moment, pause the show, and then we ask the audience to give us a style of music or a narrative moment, a plot twist, something like this. Sometimes we ask them to come on stage if they like to, and the audience kind of writes the story with us and surprises the actors. We love surprises, and the audience helps us to surprise the performers.
So what are the most common themes that people throw out?
Oh, sometimes it's puns. They take the audience invites the title. Okay, they invent the title. So they make things like the West Side Story. They have like East Side Story, things like this. But I think often it's just random titles, like things that you would say to your beloved ones on a daily basis. Like last show was called "Stop It, Brenda." Otherwise, it could be like "Chocolate." The musical. It depends every night. No, the audience is very creative.
And what's neat is also this is done both in French and in English. I mean, you yourself are German. The whole thing's so international. Do you notice a difference between the senses of humor, perhaps, in the French shows and in the English shows?
It's so different. It's so different because the American-British humor from the Anglo cast is different to the French humor, and audiences respond very differently. And I mean, the Anglophones are all foreigners here in France, so it's a different expat universe. It's hard to tell. I would say come and compare, and compare why it's different. But it is all the audience members always say, like, it was so different to see the show in English and New. It was nothing alike. It's hard to say, I have to say.
And there are some actors who actually do both, French and English.
Only one person who is bilingual, a former translator, now an actress, Perrine Maigret. Otherwise, the French cast is doing the French show, and the Anglophone is the English show. And actually, the musicians and the Master of Ceremonies do both shows, but from the singers, mainly they're singing their native language.
Let's say some of our viewers are interested in improv. I mean, maybe not at the level of this where the musicals are yet, but if they wanted to learn, you also have a school, correct?
We have a school for 20 years, Improv Academy, in which we teach improv theater in English, in French, and also improv musical in level 1, 2, 3, 4, like a full 2-year program. And they can go to our YouTube channel called YouTube, where we have like tutorials and stuff where they can watch and learn from these YouTube stuff.
I know the whole point of improv is to be ephemeral, just to last for a fleeting moment. But some of these songs are so fantastic. Have you ever wanted to develop them into a real musical?
We discussed this, and finally, actually, we love being in the moment. And we love also to go to the audience and say, hey, tonight we're going to create a show that exists tonight and never, ever again. It's something so unique and special. And this also makes it that the audience members see the show, come back and compare, is it really different every night? Mm-hmm. And then they become fans, and then they come back and say, my mom has to see this, my colleagues have to see this. They bring, like now also with the coronavirus madness and theaters being empty in Paris, new is an unsinkable ship. Like, no, we have always audience, thank God, because people come back and keep coming back and so on. So that's... For now, knock on wood, we're not so much affected about empty houses.
It's great. And just if you want to go check out New, which I highly recommend it really is a lot of fun, there's a French show that's being shown tonight.
Tonight, exactly.
In Montparnasse at Le Grand Point Virgule. The next English show will be next Monday.
Correct.
March 16th. Both of them are at 8 p.m. Florian, you'll be emceeing both of them.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's great to have you, and keep up the good work.
Thanks for having me, Genie.
All right.